Hey y'all, thought it was time for another video. Today we are going to make just a regular 4-loop boutique bow, and we're going to embellish it with the rhinestones again, but the tutorial today is going to be specifically about monogramming, using the iron-on letters to embellish your bow. Okay, so again, I am using the Sparkle grosgrain. This is 2 inches in width, and there are several colors at Hobby Lobby, about 6 or 7. I just love this stuff, so we're going to use it again today, and I'm going to show you how I add the letters to these bows. And of course, this is one right here. This is similar to what we're going to make. It has a little silver G on it, and I'll tell you in just a minute where I get those. Alright, that's one. This is the dark pink. This has the silver K on it. Okay. And this is the color we're going to be working with today. Specifically, I wanted a darker color so that it would show up a little better on the video. This is like a dark lavender. I wouldn't quite say it's purple. Okay. And then another thing we're going to do in the second part of the video, this is just a plain grosgrain, pink, light pink grosgrain. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. And this one has just a regular white letter on it, and we're going to embellish the this letter on this particular bow, so I'll just put that to the side for right now. Okay, I'm working with several materials today. Of course, you need your scissors, your glue gun. I like the wood burning tool that I've mentioned in every video. I also use this, but I'm also gonna, I think, crease the bow today, you know, without this, you know, just to kind of show you that it can be done. I'm gonna use it still, but I'm gonna crease it without this. Okay, you know, you may need an alligator clip to hold your shape. I use upholstery thread, needle, and a little bit later we're going to be using this on the second bow. It's called Jewel It. This is what I use to rhinestone my bows. Okay. Barrette, I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm also using, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's a rhinestone pencil. It helps to, you know, pick the rhinestones up and place them on your ribbon, and you know, it just makes it a little bit easier. Okay. Also, the letters that we're going to use come from Hobby Lobby. Okay, this was on the second bow that we're going to work with. Just, you know, it's a white letter, plain white letter, and you know, it's just a simple iron-on, $1.39. And then the silver letter is only 99 cents. It's, you know, sort of a shiny glitter, and it's also an iron-on. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working with today. And let's see, I'm sure I'll forget something. This is also what we're going to be working with. The bows that I just showed you, I used the rhinestone mesh. These are actually sticker rhinestones that came from Hobby Lobby as well. I'm just, you know, going to use these instead, just to get a little bit of a different look. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and turn my iron on. Just a regular cotton setting will work. And we're going to make a fairly large bow, so you want to cut your ribbon to about 45 inches, somewhere along that measurement. And again, I'm using the 2-inch, 2 1/4 inch, of course, you know, works. It's just the sparkle ribbon only comes in 2-inch size. Okay. All right. Now, I've already got my ribbon cut here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to iron on our letter first. Okay, you don't want to iron it on after you make the bow. You want to iron it on first. Okay, so you just pick whatever end of the ribbon you want to work with. Okay, and you just follow the directions on the back. Preheat the iron on cotton setting, no steam, and basically you're just going to get your letter out. Probably should have gotten it out before now. And I'm going to go with K, and you want to place it right in the center, but you don't want to put it down here, and you don't want to put it too far up here. And because we are embellishing the bottom of our ribbon, you know, we want to have some room because we're going to cut it with our wood burning tool and add the rhinestones. So I'd say 1.5 to 2 inches would be the amount of room that you would leave. Okay. You also want to get a very thin cloth to place over your letter. Okay, once you are satisfied with the placement of your letter, you want a very thin, you know, a towel would really be too thick. Okay, you want something that the heat is going to go through. Okay, so I'm just going to get my iron here. It's ready. And I'm just going to, and it says 20 to 25 seconds. So I'm just kind of counting in my head. No steam, remember, no steam. Just bear with me here. Alright, and that should just about do it on that side. And there you have the letter has melted onto the ribbon. And then you want to turn it over and take that piece of cloth away. And you just want to go like another 15 to 20 seconds on the back as well. Okay. Alright, and that should do it. Be careful with your iron. And I'm going to turn mine off now. Okay, and so that's what you have. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's also sparkly, but it turns out so beautiful and it really shows up well. Okay. Alright, now we want to go to the other side of our ribbon and begin making the bow. Okay, and again, I like my wood burning tool, and like in all the other videos, I start at that top corner and cut at an angle. And remember to make sure you get a piece of cardboard to cut on. Don't cut it on your kitchen table or your counter. You've got to make sure you have some cardboard to use your wood burning tool if that's what you're going to do. If you want to just cut it and do the lighter, that's fine as well. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and cut the end where your letter is on this one, that's fine. So I'm not going to go at such a steep angle on this. And again, remember, you want to leave some room at the bottom if you're going to embellish it like we are. Okay, so I'm going to go about that much and leave a little bit of room right there. Okay. Alright, so we are just going to go ahead and make our bow. The 4-loop boutique style bow. Okay, there are my 2 bottom loops. And there are a ton of videos on how to do this one. Okay. And if you want to put a little clip at the bottom, it kind of helps to hold it. All right. All right, then your third loop at the top, and then you're going to put your ribbon in behind. And I'm going to have to readjust mine a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to put that third loop again in behind there. You want to make sure you leave enough room for your tail. All right, then my fourth loop, come around like this. And you want your letter to, to hang somewhat down below this loop here. You don't want it up here because you still have to crease your bow. Okay, so that's about what you should have. Okay, now I'm going to take my Salon clip, slide it in, and we can take that alligator clip off. And I just want to measure, and that's my bottom loops, and then I want to just make sure my top loops. Alright, and I need to scoot this one over a little bit. Always on that side, it seems to be shorter. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. Now, I'm just going to, normally I would just take my needle and thread and going through the back like I normally do, but I'm just going to take this off and show you that you can crease these. It's more difficult because they are so large, but basically you're doing the accordion fold. I start at the top, and you just want to make your first little hump right there, and I do 3. All right, and I go real slow. All right, so there's 2, and I bend it again, and I have butter fingers, so I have to go real slow. All right, and then I just make that third hump, whatever you want to call it. All right, so there is my bow, and it's creased, and I'm just holding it now. And I'm going to get my needle and thread. Alright, and I usually go through the top. Now, you can go through the bottom, you can go through the top, whatever you want to do. And this ribbon is tough because it's treated with the sparkle stuff. Okay, so I just kind of put my needle down on the table and push it through until it goes. Okay, so that's what we have. So if you don't have a Salon clip, that's okay. You can still crease them. It's just kind of hard to crease the larger bows, and you can see it's tough with this ribbon when you're going through. Okay, finally it came through. Okay, now I'm going to wrap it around a few times and tie it off in the back. Okay, and I just want to, before I tie it off, I just want to adjust a little bit. And actually this ribbon is pretty easy to work with because it's already stiff. I find the stiffer the ribbon, the easier it is to work with. The flimsy ribbon, it's hard to make these big bows. Okay. Alright, so you can see our letter is just kind of perfectly sitting on the tail of the bow right here. Alright. And I'm going to tie it off in the back. It's okay, Tippy. Okay, so I'm just tying it off in the back. Alright, now I'm going to get my barrette. You want to take the tension bar out of the middle. Okay, and then you want to put a little bit of glue across the back. Okay, I'm going to hold that down. And then I wrap the ribbon around. And this is how I do it in all my videos. And then I just tie it off. Oops. Caught on the prongs. Okay, and then you just take your scissors and you cut the thread. Alright, and that's it. Okay, and this is what you have, and we just need to do our embellishment, and you know, that'll be it for this one. Okay. Now, what I do for the sparkle ribbon is I actually just end up cutting a piece of the purple ribbon from the spool and making a center point, or a piece of center ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little piece from the spool, and I guess about a 5/8, a little bit bigger than 3/8 piece I'm going to cut to cover my center. Okay, since I don't have any 3/8 ribbon in the sparkle, and I'm just going to take the lighter and heat seal this other part here. Okay. Alright. Oh, got my glue gun kind of tangled up here. Alright, now you just take and glue that flap down over the barrette. Okay, and then wrap it around the middle. Alright, I'm going to cut my excess off and glue the flap down. Okay, and that's what you have. And you know, if you wanted to stop here, you could. Okay, but we are going to continue. Now, I would not put the tension bar back in the middle until we have done our embellishment. Okay, because that you'll just end up having to take it back out. Okay. Now, the next part involves the rhinestones for this bow, and I've actually done a tutorial kind of similar to this. And you basically just want to measure, you know, what you want to cut off, and I'm going to use 2 rows. You know, they comes let's see, I think it's 8 across, and I'm going to go down and cut, you know, cut 2. And I have this little piece right here. Now, the glue that you want to use is totally up to you. If you want to use the E6000, you can. So far, the hot glue has worked pretty good for me. Alright, so we just want to, you know, put a thin strip along the bottom. And then you want to very quickly get that piece of rhinestones on there. And these are itty bitty rhinestones, but I kind of like, you know, how they're so close together. Okay, so now that's what we have underneath the K, and we have our tail embellished. And now we just need to do our center. And for the center, I'm going to use 4 in a row. Okay, so I'm going to cut about what I think will go around it. It's kind of hard to measure when it's on a big long sticker piece like this. The rhinestone mesh, you can actually cut it and measure it. Alright, so I'm just going to cut it. And it's kind of hard to cut down the center because it's so sticky. Okay, so you just kind of have to judge how much you're going to need for the center. And it keeps wanting to stick. Okay, so I have about, you know, this size. And we want to turn the bow around to the back. Now, I know it's sticky, but I would not recommend, you know, just sticking it on there and hoping that it will stay. You definitely want to back that up with glue. Alright, so in the middle, you want to put a thin strip and get your row started in the back here. And just kind of hold it for a second until it dries. Okay, now you can go around the center, and that's what's nice about it being sticky. And you don't have to glue it until you get back around to the back. Alright, you want to put another little strip of glue, and then put your flap down. And to reinforce it, if you want to, you don't have to, you can get a, you know, a piece of felt or another, you know, piece of ribbon and glue it on the top and the back, you know, like that if you want to, just to, you know, make sure that that doesn't come up. Okay, and that's what you have. It's, you know, real pretty. You know, you have your tail and you have your middle part there. Real pretty. And fairly inexpensive. You know, if you were to buy this, it would cost a lot more. And you know, even if you have some plain bows that you want to do this to, you know, it really dresses them up. Okay, and then the last thing you want to do is just slide your tension bar in. And remember, I have the little trick here. You just put your prongs in the front and then set it on the back here and just flip it over, and that way you don't have to bend it. Okay, and so now we're finished with our sparkle bow with the rhinestones, and now you have personalized it with the little letters. And again, these are, you know, Hobby Lobby vinyl iron-ons. Okay, now the last thing before we end the video, I just want to show another very pretty, elegant thing that you can do to these other kinds of letters, whether they be monogrammed with a machine or iron on. You can add a little bit of a rhinestone embellishment to this one as well. And again, I apologize, the pink and white, it's a little hard to see. Alright, and this is where our jewel-it comes in. So let me see if I can zoom in. Oop, wrong way. Alright, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see here. Obviously, you can see I have not mastered the camera or editing or anything. Anyway, sorry. The dog's barking in the back added a nice touch though, don't you think? And my phone going off and all that. Okay, I have 4 rhinestones and they're fairly small, so I think I could probably fit 4. You can go anywhere. You can put your rhinestones, you know, anywhere. You can put it here, you can put it on the side. You can go around the bottom here. I think I'm going to take it around this little circle right here. Okay, so I'm going to put you just need a tiny, tiny little drop at the top here. Well, and mine does not seem to want to come out. Let's see. All right, there we go. Don't need much at all. Okay, there's one little dot. And then I'm going to go, and I may end up with just 3. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just going to do 3. Alright, then I get my little rhinestones here. And this is where my little pencil comes in. Okay, I actually need to sharpen it. And I think this, I ordered this from rockinresins.com. I will leave the website in the descriptions box whenever I figure it out. Okay, so you just kind of touch the top here, and you see how the rhinestone sticks to it. Okay, and then you just simply put it on the glue, and it drops, it stays. And then you take the next one, and there you go. It's just so much easier than picking them up with your fingers or with a pair of tweezers or whatever. Okay, and so I just ended up with 3, and it adds such a nice little touch. Okay, and you just kind of wait. Hot glue, I don't recommend hot glue to do this because it's just too bulky, and it doesn't dry real well. So the Jewel, it really is a good product for doing this kind of thing. Okay, let me see if I can figure out. There we go. Oh, good job. Okay, so that's it for our tutorial. I wanted to do one with a braided headband, but didn't have a chance to get to that. But anyway, here we go with our embellishments and our monogramming, and just kind of making it look a little bit more elegant and dressing up your plain bows. So I hope this tutorial wasn't too painful without editing and whatever, but I appreciate everyone watching, and if you have any questions or anything you'd like to see, drop me a message and give me a thumbs up, and have a nice day. I appreciate you watching.